Danny, he works a lot on the perception of reality, not the reality of the fact. I mean, the scene where you say a line to Hugh Jackman and everybody, we heard it, but we're doubting that we heard it. Afterwards, he plays with that very well. He did that in Incendie, he did that in his Polytechnique too. Isn't that a little bit unstable for the actors? Don't you need some kind of reality to play on?
Here's the truth of that moment. We shot it a couple of different ways. He knew how important and integral a moment it was. My instinct told me he was looking for something that he could not describe, that you have just described, because we did it a couple of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very well-sighted movie watching on your part.
But, you know, that's also why you want to work with a filmmaker like Denis, because that's part of what he brings to it. So the reality of that moment, I had a reality to that moment. I was not playing an unreality, and neither was Hugh or neither was Melissa, but it's the way you bring it all together, you know, that creates what you're talking about.
And because it's so very real, you get to hear something that in reality, if you were standing in the crowd, you never would have. And that's movie magic.
And the thing is that also the character evolves. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but the character change a lot and they go in direction that we as an audience member were not expecting. But you guys, you go back and forth. I mean, it's not like shooting a movie is not in order. Do you need a reality of the moment, or do you have to know exactly what are your characters when you're playing a scene? I don't want to say too much again, it's difficult.
It's fine to shoot it in any way because you have the script. And it's even, in certain circumstances, fine to shoot what we call in the industry either or. That it might go like this, maybe the ending of a film might go like this, or the ending of the film might go like this. And you can work toward both of those if you have that information. If you're not sure where you're headed and you're just going down some happy road shooting scenes, this is harder to get sewn together. But once you know what it is, it can get broken up in all kinds of ways. And sometimes if you shoot towards the end, in the beginning, you have a really clear idea where you're headed and how to modulate then the performance.
But then you have to not show it in the process.
Well, you know, but if you shot the end first, you know how much you've revealed at the end. So in the beginning, you then know how much to disguise, right? Or you start at the beginning and you begin with something, and then you know how far you need to go to reveal something. So it's all one. Denis' brilliant direction in, you know, for the complication in my own character was constantly even. And if you watch carefully, Holly never changes.
You know what? It took me some time to recognize you in the movie.
Thank you.
It's like you embody the character.
Thank you.
You guys are both of you are looking for. Are you looking for independent author directors like Denis, or do they come to you?
Well, hopefully both. Certainly, yeah, it's a thrill because, you know, the director is the final author. It's super collaborative process, but it's the director's film at the end of the day. And for both of us, I think doing this type of film feels like a risk in some way. The subject matter, it's an interesting experience to do. So to get to go see the film and be proud of it, which we both were, and largely because of how Denis handled the material, that's a really good feeling. So that's how, yeah, I would love it to be every time.
But you, madame, you seem to need the risk. I mean, all the projects you take, there is like...
I don't know. I said 30 years of acting with all kinds of directors, especially doing television, in which we get every 10 days a new director in. I've learned a great deal about what role that job plays in a day's work, you know. It took me many years to really discern that, and it does make a difference who's directing. I am always looking for work, and mostly work finds me, and so much for what I want.
Well, one last thing, I'm very curious about the reaction of the American audience to a movie that is so not telling them what to think, not telling them what to feel. What do you think the audience in America would react?
Oh,
How do
we
you-
can't wait to see, I think is how we feel about it now. It's been so pleasing and I just feel it's so good for Denis, the reception of the press. We talked to Canada and US and now around the world today and the reception of the film by you educated film goers has been really remarkable. And so we will wait and hope that, you know, what we see in the film, what Denis, I believe, has produced in the film is received by the American audiences. We'll see.
I'm not worried. They go see a good movie, and this one is great. Merci beaucoup.